All right, let's move on now to an event going on in St. Louis today from a company called LaunchCode, which is a startup, a nonprofit here in the St. Louis area that has got something called the Mentor Center that they're kicking off down on Delmar this afternoon. And Chris Bay is the director of LaunchCode St. Louis and the Mentor Center and joins us now. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
So tell us about what the Mentor Center is going to be.
The Mentor Center is, first and foremost, going to be home to all of LaunchCode's programs. We've done a lot of educational programming since we started up a couple of years ago, and we've always done it in different places throughout St. Louis, at the public library, at the CIC Cortex facilities, in Central West End, and just kind of wherever we could find a space. We've never had a permanent space for our educational opportunities. And so this is going to be the first place we can really kind of plant our flag, have a permanent home for those programs, and also use it as a place to grow our programming and to introduce some new programs with partners like Blue 1647 from Chicago, to start some youth programming, and to just generally kind of be a hub of excitement and opportunity for tech in St. Louis.
A lot of people may not know that outside Silicon Valley, St. Louis is one of the fastest growing startup areas for high-tech companies, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah, there's a lot of growth in St. Louis. There's a lot of excitement, and LaunchCode is kind of typically lumped in with all of that excitement, which is great. One of our main missions, though, is to increase opportunity and access and diversity within tech. So while there is a lot of energy around tech and entrepreneurship and startups, those opportunities aren't always equally accessible to everybody. So one of LaunchCode's main missions is to try to even those things out a little bit.
Yeah, well, I know between what you're doing and what they're doing down in the Cortex area and the T-Rex building, there is a lot of startup money and a lot of tech people either from St. Louis or moving to St. Louis to be a part of this. So when you're offering these programs, some of which I understand are going to be free or reduced cost, is this like somebody wants to learn coding and get into it that way? Is it that sort of thing?
Certainly, yeah. Our programs at this point are all free, and definitely if we have anything in the future that has a fee attached, it will be reduced cost. And the idea is to make technology and programming accessible. So we have different types of programs for different types of individuals of different skill levels and different goals. You know, the main thing LaunchCode does is to try to connect people with job opportunities. So all of our educational programming is ideally situated to aim somebody directly at a job at the end of the line, and we have a small team of folks who work directly with employers to place those people with the talent, whether or not they've gone through a LaunchCode program or another program on their own, with an economic opportunity through an apprenticeship and eventually a full-time placement in technology and full-time employment. So that's really the goal, and all of our classes, like I said, are free. A lot of them are evenings, weekends, because if you're kind of stuck in an underemployed situation or you want to switch industries, you're not going to be able to take off work, pay for college, still support your family, etc.
So this is great for not even, anyone who is of college age, but someone who may be going through a transition, someone who is kind of looking to switch jobs and try to find a different career?
Exactly, yeah. We have a diversity of programs. One of them is that I, ran this boot camp program starting in January that was approximately 25 individuals that were long-term underemployed, underutilized resources, and they were of diversity in age from 22 to 70, and diversity of backgrounds. Some had no college degree, some had PhDs, but they all had the same goal. They all had the same goal to get into technology. They were all willing to work hard, to spend time, to make that transition in their lives and in their careers, and that's what ultimately allows them to do that. It's not a means of accessing a certain college degree or anything like that provides those opportunities. It's hard work and some basic access to what's essentially free education online and through LaunchCode.
All right, pretty cool. All right, if you want more information about this, you can go to launchcode.org/mentor center and find out more, not only about the event tonight, but what they're going to be doing here in the near future. Chris, thanks for joining us here this morning.
Thank you so much.
6:55 at the Big 550 KTRS.
Larry Connors hosts the